Welcome back. It's still Morning Rush on Metro Television. Our conversation is all about Talk to Spirit mental health awareness, and our guest is SALLEY TORPEY, and she is the founder African Women Invented and also SALLEY Fashion House. And we have Dr. Spirit, who is a clinical director and a licensed therapist, and we are here to talk about Talk to Spirit. Is all about mental health awareness. Good morning and welcome to Morning Rush. Good morning. It's a great privilege to have both of you in the studio.
No, I'm so excited to be here, not just in the studio, but in the country.
Oh, okay. How has it been? Before I come to SALLEY, how has it been? Is it your first time?
This is my first time.
Wow.
It's my first time.
To the motherland.
Well, actually, I was in Cairo, Egypt a few years ago, but this is my first time in Ghana.
In Ghana.
It's amazing.
The
people are amazing. The city is
culture,
amazing. The food is excellent.
So far, which one have you tried and you loved?
Oh gosh, it was the cassava last night.
Okay, fufu.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know fufu. We do fufu in Atlanta.
Okay, you've tasted the jollof.
The jollof rice.
The wache.
Yes. I haven't had that yet.
And kenke?
I haven't had that yet.
Oh.
It's only been one day.
Okay, exactly. Then this morning, breakfast, lunch, supper, everything has to be in there.
I think it's going to be a total experience.
That's very good. But then before we come to Dr. Spirit, let's talk a bit about everything that you do, fashion, and also most importantly, the African Reinvented, everything that has to do with it. Just tell us about it.
So Africa Women Reinvented is focused on building the bridge between African women and African American women, creating the enabling environment for us to do projects together, learn about each other, because post 400 years of slavery, we just have to find a way to be together.
Yeah.
So that is what it's all about, making amazing connections such as me and Dr. Spirit, African women supporting African
women. That's good. But how long have you had this going on?
Actually, Africa Women Reinvented is about 5 years in works, underground. But from the NGO perspective, I have 15 years experience in the NGO field. I've worked with the Ghana AIDS Commission on behavioral change communication in Cape Coast, all the way in the central region, trickling down to Accra.
Wow.
And internationally.
That's a lot. And so far, so good. How has the experience, the connection, the establishment, whatever purpose you had, has it been fulfilled?
I think it's been a journey, very beautiful, because you have, I learned diverse, things from people, educational standpoint, and also how people live in communities. And being able to know how to give what they actually need, not just what we want to give them.
Yeah, and that's why we are also benefiting, because we have Dr. Spirit all the way from Atlanta in Ghana. Not only are we going to have the privilege to have you here, but also learn a bit or two from you, especially from the angle I will learn. I'm not a doctor, but being a media personality, I think I will take a thing or two from you. But then tell us a bit about how you are able to balance everything that you do. You are an owner, a founder, a clinical director, media personality, and also a licensed therapist. How do you balance everything?
Well, I think even bigger than that is the whole idea of family, right?
Yes.
I also have 7 children and a husband. So seven. But I think what it's really about is being true to your message, being true to your purpose, and I think that it all ties in. So for me back home, and even when I travel around the world, the real message is about the importance of mental health and wellness. And so for whether it's the group practice and working in that space, or whether it's the media and working in that space, really media magnifies the message. And so it gives us the opportunity to talk about the importance of mental health on much larger platforms.
Exactly. Yeah. And when you meet people that share their stories with you with regards to their mental health, some don't really pay attention to it. I think in our part of the world, it's not really much of a big deal. People don't really concentrate on that.
Yeah.
With the the goal you have set to be able to make sure that it sinks in, people become aware? How has it been over the years?
Well, it's really about helping people understand that everything is impacted by their mental health and wellness, and everything is impacting their mental health and wellness. So oftentimes we don't think about it because it's invisible. So you don't recognize that the headache that you have, or the backaches that you have, or the infertility issues that you have, or the high blood pressure that you have, or the insomnia that you have, are oftentimes symptoms of mental health conditions. And so we don't think about it. So the main thing is helping people to recognize that brain health is everything. And so as you start to think about it in that way, that says how I'm doing on the inside is affecting my relationships, it's affecting my work quality, it's affecting my ability to learn. As we start to think about it and integrate the idea of how am I doing, and asking myself that question, all of a sudden the idea of mental health changes.
Wow. That's true. But then how does one's mental health gradually becomes worsen, it deteriorates? Like how does it get to that point?
Well, it's because we don't get the care that we need. We don't look at mental health like physical health. And every single thing that you have experienced, even the birthing process, as you have come through your mother's womb, every single thing that you experience over time impacts your mental health and wellness. And so when we look at this, just to put it in concept for you, or in context, 50% of all mental illness develops before the age of 14, and 75% before the age of 24. And there is roughly 1 in 5 people, about 20% of every population, that's suffering from a mental health condition, and they don't even know it. So whether it's serious, right? Anxiety and depression and the trauma that we have experienced, and it's difficult just to exist. So all of the pressure that we're under, just even in a surviving world of climate change nowadays, everything is impacting our mental health and wellness. And so when you think about it like that, your self-care becomes more important, and it becomes something that you'll focus on more.
Is that why the initiative is TALK2SPIRIT?
Yes. Well, Talk to Spirit is the way that people find me, right? And so people will have these conversations, and they'll say, you know what I need to do? I need to talk to Spirit. And so I tell people, you can find me everywhere on all of my social media, anywhere in the world, Talk to Spirit. So when you want to know more and you're thinking about the focus, Talk to Spirit is how you find me. I want to talk to Spirit.
That's cool. We'll come to the initiative and you break down everything to it. But I'll touch on something that you said. How can you get to know that you have a mental health illness? How do you get to know that your brain is suffering? What are the symptoms and signs?
Well, you know, what I tell people is it's not for you to know. It's for the mental health professionals to be able to recognize that. And the question is, how do you stay connected to your body to know how you're feeling? And if you don't feel like something is right, if you find things like my mind is racing all of the time, even when I don't want it to, I'm worried about things often, I don't sleep well. I know that when I was a child, I had to deal with trauma, whether it was abandonment or abuse or neglect or poverty. You have to know that everything is affecting the quality of your mental health. And so if you've never interfaced with a mental health provider and you're not paying attention to how do I take care of myself well every day, then now is the time to begin to think about your mental health in different ways, to say, what can I do to improve the quality of my life, which will also improve the quality of your mental health functioning.
Can one say, isn't it too late?
It's never too late. It's never too late.
Because in our environment, we are more often thought to like put the work first. We get our mothers always getting up early, going to work, coming back. And they do this, I can say, maybe 20 years, 30 years. And they don't even pay attention to that. So let's say they've gotten to age 50. Someone will say it's too late to check it. It's
never too late. I work with clients who are in their 70s and 80s and beyond, because again, life is affecting your mental health. So aging changes your mental health. The idea of brain-related issues like schizophrenia or dementia can affect your mental health. But even if you're the child who's taking care of aging parents, or your children are having to get up and go to work every day to fight traffic, to pay bills, all of that is affecting your mental health. So as much care and attention as you can give it, the more you improve the quality of your health over time.
Wow. As for this one, if you stay home and you don't go for this event, you are going to miss out. Sally, tell us all about the event, when and where.
So we have Talk to Spirit live in Ghana, happening tomorrow, Tuesday, 30th, at the Accra City Hotel.
Okay.
This is a must see, a must be there, because this is the point where Ghana has to start bringing people together to listen to mental health awareness, because we really can tell that is a clear case. Our daily lives is already stressful.
Yes.
Doing what you do, amazing work, but then you have to wake up very early to be doing that.
Exactly.
For us to see that beautiful thing that you do, you have to go through some kind of. So as life goes on and we metamorphose and, you know, all that kind of busy schedules, it's affecting us in a way. The worry for when to cook, when to take care of our children, when to get married, and all of that stress. And so life is not really that easy. So we definitely need to listen from that standpoint to see how are we taking care of our mental health? How do you process things? How do you behave? You know, how is our behavior communicating to other people how we are?
True.
So it's a must-see.
It's a fully packed day tomorrow. And is there any age group you're expecting?
I want to talk to everybody.
Everyone.
The whole
population. Talk to Spirit.
I want everybody to come out. And it's not just even just to learn, but also to share. Because what we recognize is, as I'm telling folks, the world is on fire. And COVID has changed everything. And so as we think about mental health globally, it's important to hear the voice of the Ghanaian people in that conversation. It's important to talk to mental health professionals. I'm curious about what the issues are here. I'm curious about what the interventions are, what the strategies are, and how do we unite as mental health professionals, not just those people who are the clinicians, but the politicians, the climate change experts, the woman who is sitting at home trying to take care of her family, the child who is worried about the world that they're inheriting. This is a global conversation that we all need to be a part of. So I'm here not just to talk, but also really to listen.
Sally, at the end of all this initiative, what do you want people to take home?
I want people to take home that it is time to take care of our mental health, because, like I said earlier on, our daily lives alone brings about a lot of residue. So those residue are impacting us directly as individuals, and the way we actually act that out. We drive in, we live in our daily lives, everything is being impacted by what we have. So it is good for us to now take into consideration, observing carefully what our mental state of health is. And that is really the bigger conversation, to continue talking about this, to make sure we learn more and expand on this topic on the global stage.
That's a very good one. And what time is it starting?
At 5 p.m.
5 p.m. Okay, and it will end?
By 9 we should probably round up. We won't have enough time with Talk to Spirit.
Okay, so what are they? Run us through the activities before maybe Dr. Spirit will speak tomorrow. What are certain things that will pop up before she comes?
Before she comes, it will just be, you know, welcoming everyone, making sure everyone settles in, and create a very comfortable ambience for everyone to be ready to both receive and give. So that's just about it.
I know, Doc, is a mental health awareness conversation, but let's say, how are you going to touch, what topics will you be touching on? Maybe anxiety, depression, how will things flow?
Well, I think the idea is being open to what the conversation needs to be. I'm here really to learn about what's happening. And so for me, I have questions. I want to know what the people need. And I think that that's really what it's about. I, by no means, come as the individual who will say, listen to everything and this is what it should be. That's not it. What I'm here to do is to offer my expertise, to offer my experiences, and to say, what questions do you have? But also to be able to ask questions, because if we don't recognize where we are, we don't recognize what we need, nor where it is that we need to go. So it's really more about a conversation that says, let's talk about mental health. When you hear the word mental health, what does that mean to you? What do you need in order to improve your mental health for where you are? What are some of the barriers? What are some of the challenges? And how can we as mental health professionals rise to the challenge of what the people need? And so I think it's not just even a conversation just for me or between me and the audience. I think it's a conversation for audience members alike, because as I'm learning, there is so much diversity here among the people. And so depending on what region you're from, depending on what language or dialect you speak, that may also change the needs that you have. So this is an opportunity for Ghana to have a conversation about mental health and how do you work collectively to improve the mental health of the people of the nation.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the venue is Accra City Hotel.
Yes.
And it's tomorrow, the 30th of May 2023, 5 p.m. sharp. No Ghana Man time, right?
Not at all.
No Ghana Man time, is that what that is? I'll still be sitting waiting though, so come on.
No Ghana Man time, and it's free.
It is free, absolutely free.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Ghanaians, we love free stuff.
Actually, that's why it has to be free for this one, because we didn't want to ticket anything. We just want an open room conversation. Let's just talk to spirit, and also, you know, digest the issues of mental health. That's just it. Yeah.
Anything you want to add before we wrap up? Any final words?
I think when we get opportunities like this, we don't have to look at it from the standpoint that is a one-time thing. We intend to continue this because as the world is on fire, like Spirit said, it is very important to keep talking about this for people who don't even know they have mental health challenges, get to understand how they are wired, how they are working on a daily basis. That is where you get to have healing. So we are supposed to take this opportunity as one good one that comes to Ghana and continue the conversation and make it work. And
we are so grateful for such an initiative. Yeah, thank you very much. Doc, any final words before we go?
Well, more than anything, it's just about recognizing that everything is affecting your mental health and wellness. And you cannot have a good quality of life without having a good quality of mental wellness. We all have mental health. What we don't all have is mental wellness. And that is where we need to get the world to.
Thank you very much. And after the event, are you staying long, or when are you leaving?
I think we're here until June the 1st.
Wow.
So 1 of June, it's a very quick trip, and then we're on to another nation.
Okay. We wish you nothing but the best, and it's a pleasure to have great women.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very, very much. So we had SALLEY TORPEY and also Dr. Spirit. And so make sure that you go to Accra City Hotel tomorrow, Tuesday, 30th of May 2022. The time is 5 p.m. Like Doctor said, she will be seated, even if it's Ghana Man time or whatever time, she'll be seated and waiting for everybody.
Eating some fufu and drinking something good, okay? Come see me.
That's good. That's good. That's good.